Hey guys, Caleb here with another studio update. Today's update are the Stormcast Marauders. Essentially this is a kit-bashed army combining bits from both the Stormcast Eternals range and the Chaos Marauder range. A client likes the look of Vikings and wanted to have that sort of look in his army, but he also wanted to work in some Greek elements, and he didn't want them to be sort of bad aligned Chaos Vikings. He wanted them to be sort of a positive spin on Vikings. So we came up with this Legion, and we're going to dive into some of the closer models real quick, but just sort of spanning across the Legion, it's a fantastic project. It's a lot of models on the table. You've got 15 Chaos Knights, you've got 10 Chaos Marauders on horseback, you've got 20 Chaos Marauders on foot, 12 Chaos Warriors on foot, plus a Lord leading it all, then a Chaos Chariot in the form of a bear chariot, or an armored bear, and then finally you've got that big old giant from Ultra Forge there on the left-hand side. So let's take a closer look. Okay, so let's take a closer look. So first off, we wanted the army to feel like it was from the Norska continent, so the northern cold reaches. So we gave all of the armor kind of a bluish tint. We did this by mixing in just a little bit of blue with our silvers, and then we lined the armor with a blue liner in the final stages. To contrast that, we picked out a lot of the army in gold and with these big red head plumes you see on all of the helmets. One of the nice things about booking with White Metal Games is you get access to our extensive bits boxes and vaults. So all of these bits from the Stormcast projects were really just left over from previous Stormcast projects, and that allowed us to kit bash in an unprecedented way. All of the shields on the army have been swapped out with Chaos shields for the more Stormcast leaning shields. So you've got these big old tower shields on the knights in the back there, and even the foot soldiers, we've swapped those out as well with these Liberator shields. So the entire army has a more Stormcast leaning shield, and generally speaking kind of has a more Viking feel with the big hammers and blazoned on the shields. We've also added a lot of scroll work and body work, all these tattoos and markings. It's really very clear on the giant. You can see those big blue tattoos, which kind of link back into the blue armor, so it's a nice way to sort of bring it all together. And even on the Marauder horsemen, we've actually marked their horses in the same way. So although you've got lots of different shades of horses, from sort of chestnuts to browns to pale whites and reds, all of them have those blue markings, which help to sort of lean and bring the whole army back together again. For the giant, again, to emphasize, this is a Stormcast giant, or not a Stormcast giant, an Ultra Forge giant. He's a beautiful model, a lot of fun to work with. He's pretty much solid cast, very little assembly required. Comes on his own custom 50 by 75 millimeter scenic textured base, and we've modified him a little bit. We've given him these tabards, and we've given him this big ponytail, kind of to sort of link him back in with the regular Stormcast models that have these big, or the regular Marauder models, rather, that have these sort of headpieces and ponytails. But in-game, you would just use them as a standard model, a standard giant. And then for the chariot over here, we've got this armored bear model. Now, this is actually a toy bear from, I think, Real Life Scenic Safari. So they sell resin cast models that are relatively inexpensive. And then we modified that by adding on all of these little bits of armor, kind of make it something unique and fun. So it's armored for battle, and then it's got the Gore-Beast chariot on top with the rider. So he's got his whip where he can reach people on the ground. And on top of that, he's just got his big old cloak billowing out behind him. So the entire project is around 2,000 points. It is square base, so the client in this case wanted to use it for Warhammer 8th edition, but you could use this in Age of Sigmar without any trouble at all. The Chaos Warriors here on the ground have had their head swaps as well. And the client wanted something like a hoplite infantry. So what we did was we gave them big tower shields and big kind of spears that we used from converting paladin bits. So the effect is they have sort of a handheld spear with a big shield, but they count as Chaos Warriors in game. So this is a good use of a proxy army. Mostly it's a counts as army. You can count it as Chaos Warriors, and just instead of saying you're aligned with a Chaos god, you're aligned with your own gods, whether it be Thor or Odin or whoever the Norse could worship. But all told, just a fun-looking army, something kind of unique and different. Has some feel about Greek elements to it. It's got some fun Chaos elements to it, and just a unique project. If this is the kind of thing you're interested in commissioning with us, contact us at info@whitemetalgames.com. Till next time, put your minis where your mouth is.